It's 2021, but the coronavirus is still here and is stopping many from achieving their goals. And it's not just because you can't travel. It's all about procrastination. I'm not here to blame you for wasting time. It's perfectly normal. These are challenging times, and it's perfectly normal to get distracted and take your mind off the serious stuff for a while. But it's been a long time since it's all started, and it's time to move on. It's getting pretty frustrating, actually. Even procrastinating becomes boring after a while. There are so many things that you can start doing today to improve yourself, and I'm not necessarily talking about money. I'm talking about a better version of your body and your mind. Instead, you're on the sofa eating chips and scrolling through useless Instagram posts. Now, here's the thing that most people won't tell you. Strategies to help you end procrastination exist, but there's no magical formula that will make of you the most effective person alive. So now, let's look into some of these strategies. 1. Willpower. The first thing you need to do is train your willpower. The reason you can't seem to start doing what you're supposed to be doing is that you don't have enough willpower. It's basically a little fight between you and yourself. Who's going to win? The productive side of you or the lazy one? Every time the productive side wins, you increase your willpower. With time, it will become easier and easier to get yourself out of bed and start doing useful stuff. So, how do you improve your willpower? By doing things you don't want to do, duh. But instead of starting with a huge 5-hour task, you should start small. The weaker the willpower, the harder it will be to commit to big tasks. If your willpower isn't trained, you should start with small missions. For example, instead of committing to 5 hours of work, commit to 10 minutes. Just tell yourself, right, I'll put my phone in that cookie jar, and for the next minutes, I'm going to work. After 10 minutes, I can return to my Instagram. If after 10 minutes you don't feel like working anymore, you can stop, but you've achieved a little task. Well done. So the next time you do this, make it 15 minutes, then 20, then 30, then 1 hour with a 5-minute break after every 20 or 15 minutes, and so on. See where I'm going with this? There are other ways to train your willpower. For example, you can use food. If you eat a lot of useless things like cookies, cake, sweets, and fast food, just stop that for one day. Just don't eat bad things for one day, and boom, willpower improved. One of the best ways to improve your willpower is to do extremely uncomfortable things, like a cold shower. Actually, let's talk about cold showers. 2. Cold showers. Cold showers are well known in the self-help world, but very few people actually take them. Why? Because they're the worst. Waking up in the morning and having to take an ice-cold shower doesn't seem very attractive, but it's totally worth it. Cold showers have both physical and psychological benefits. This video is on procrastination, so let's focus on psychological benefits. Cold showers refresh your mind. You have a lot of stuff on your mind and sometimes you feel stressed. Taking a cold shower will take your mind off anything. Trust me, you'll focus on the temperature once you step under the cold water. Once that's done, you'll feel fresh, woken up, and ready for anything. They improve your confidence. You know what gives you a huge amount of confidence? Success. That's why having small successes on a daily basis can help you improve motivation and confidence. Self-esteem can help you challenge the world every day. Taking a cold shower first thing in the morning is a little success that will motivate you for the whole day. Don't believe me? Try it. From a procrastinating point of view, it will help you dramatically with willpower and motivation. It's like when your PC doesn't work, so you turn it off and on again, and that's what happens to your mind basically. But how do you find the willpower to step under the cold water? Well, you count to 3 and you're in. I'm going to explain why this works in a minute. First, I have a little piece of advice for you. Many think that they can just gradually decrease the temperature of the water, but that's not as effective. Also, when you're about to go under the ice-cold water, breathe in very deep and brace yourself for a little shock. The 3-second rule. There's a woman named Mel Robbins. She's a motivational speaker, and she wrote the book The 5-Second Rule. It's a very effective rule, but I would like you to think of it as a 3-second rule. It's proven more effective for me, and I think it will be the same for you. Here's how it works. Whenever you have to do something, you don't really think about it. You just do it. You count to 3, and it's already too late to talk yourself out of it, because you're already doing it. In the case of cold showers, if you sit there and think about it, your brain will go, oh, well, don't worry about it. You can do it tomorrow. You don't have to start today, it's just too much. And there you go, you're definitely not going to do it because you're coming up with excuses. Just take your clothes off, count to 3, and get to it. 1, 2, 3, you're in. No worries. Don't even think. Just 1, 2, 3, you're already under the cold water. Apply this to your daily activities, and after a while it will become such an effective tool that you'll even be afraid to use it because you know that it will just work. The reason why this works is simple. Our brain is made to keep us all comfy. It wants to avoid all risk, all kinds of pain and work. It just wants to consume content, relax all day and chill. You know what I'm talking about. If you rationalize all your tasks, you'll come up with excuses. Our brain is really good at coming up with them, so trust me, don't trust your brain. 4. Forgive yourself and start over. I'm actually surprised almost no one talks about how important this is. If you feel sorry for yourself and blame yourself for being lazy all the time, you'll be in a negative state of mind. This will kill your motivation and ruin your productivity. The first step is to recognize that you are procrastinating. Don't be a child about it. Just acknowledge that you've been wasting your time and move on. Say this to yourself, "Oh, I'm procrastinating right now. I should probably stop." Then, you need to forgive yourself for all the time you've wasted. It's in the past. Don't let it ruin your future. Don't ignore your mistakes, but use them to fuel your motivation. Start over. A fresh start is always a huge motivation. Combine this with cold showers and it's like rebooting your life. Now, a huge disclaimer. Don't let forgiving yourself become a reason to keep procrastinating. That's a consequence of using this irresponsibly. If you do that, it'll lose effectiveness, and you'll be even more stuck in the rut than you are now. So, be careful there. 5. Eliminate your distractions like disease. Distractions are like disease. They take over your life. They might even act from behind the curtains, and while you think you're being productive, you're actually just being busy. Anything that isn't taking you closer to your goals is a waste of time and a distraction. I want you to think about this in a more strategic way. It's easy to classify anything as productive if you think like this. Well, here's the thing. I'm scrolling through social media, and that's a waste of time for most people, but not for me, because I occasionally find posts on business mindset, so it has to be useful. See where I'm going with this? So to avoid the issue, you're not just going to take action. You're going to take massive action only. These are the hardest activities that you really don't want to do, but that are taking you closer to your goal faster than all the others. Anything that is not massive action is to be delegated or completely eliminated from your life. Delegating is also a skill, actually. If you don't have money to delegate activities, here's an alternative. 6. The 7-day activity check. For the next week, starting with Monday or Sunday, I want you to keep an alarm every 30 minutes all the time, except when you're sleeping, obviously. Keep a notebook or use your smartphone to take notes on this. Every 30 minutes, write down what you've been doing. Doesn't matter if you're in school, eating, working out, you must do this. After 7 days, you'll have a huge list of activities, and you have to take the time to go over all of them. Add up the time and see how much time you spent doing what. Maybe you've spent 40 hours working, 5 hours working out, 50 hours sleeping, and so on. After you have all the activities, you need to categorize them into 3 buckets. Productive activities that are taking you closer to your goals. If you don't have goals, watch our video on goal setting. Unproductive, taking you away from your goal. Neutral, things that waste your time, but aren't taking you closer or further away from the goals. All unproductive and neutral activities need to be eliminated. If there are things that you just have to do, like commuting and eating, turn them into something positive. Maybe you can listen to an audiobook while driving, reading a book while commuting by train instead of using your phone, and so on. 7. Burn all boats. If you can't procrastinate, you won't. For example, if you're a student and you live with your parents, move out. If you're on your own and they aren't paying for your stuff, you have no choice but to work. If you don't, you'll have to live on the streets or live through the humiliation of going back to your parents' house. Conclusion: all these strategies are highly effective, and they will help you if you actually apply them. But here's a reminder: you and only you are the master of your time. There's no magic trick to make things happen. You really need to understand that if you won't do something about it, it will likely be like this forever. There's never an easy time to make a hard decision. If working is difficult now, it will also be difficult tomorrow, next week, next month, and next year. Nothing will magically fix your procrastination except for discipline and practicing willpower. Thank you guys so much. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're new to the channel, welcome, and make sure you subscribe so you never miss out on any of our videos. With that said, have a great day, and I'll see you all in the next one.